You want to know the book I've been wanting to read since I got it? That's this book, Percy Jackson and the Olympians, The Chalice of the Gods. Originally, I read them digitally, so I saved so much money, and I ended up reading Percy Jackson and the Olympians and the Heroes of Olympus series, plus I think 1 or 2 Trial of Apollo books, and then I sort of just fell out of love with this series. I mean, I still love the series. Like, I'm excited for the show. I'm so excited for the show, but I just never really got into Trials of Apollo, the Red Pyramid series, the Kane Chronicles, or really Magnus Chase. I've read the first book. I have the second book, but I haven't been able to like fully dive into it and enjoy it. But hopefully, once I read The Chalice of the Gods, I will be in love and I will be able to finish the series because they're books, and I like books. I mean, clearly, like, down here, I mean, you can't even see it, but there's, like, a crap ton of books down here, and on the bookshelf behind me, that literally is, almost all of this bookshelf is books. I mean, there's a few other things, but, like, most of them are books. So why don't you come along with me as I read?
Hello, future Emma here. I realized I didn't read a summary of the book, so let's get into that. This is the Goodreads summary. Percy Jackson, modern-day son of Poseidon, is just trying to get through high school. After saving the world multiple times by battling monsters, titans, and giants, Percy is now settling in at alternative high school in New York, where he hopes he'll finally have a normal school year. And it's his senior year. Unfortunately, the gods aren't quite done with him yet. Poseidon breaks the bad news that if Percy expects to get into New Rome University, he will have to fulfill 3 quests, in order to earn the necessary 3 letters of recommendations from Mount Olympus. So he has to get 3 gods to, like, sign a paper, or, like, say that kid's a good person, a good half-blood, or a good demigod. The first task is to help Ganymede, Zeus's cupbearer. It's like the dude who just carries a cup around, I guess. A chalice. That's why the book's named this way. To retrieve his golden goblet before it falls into the wrong hands. They gotta go get it. You see, 1 sip can turn any mortal into a god. And Zeus will not be pleased with that result. Can Percy and his friends Grover and Annabeth find the precious cup in time? And if they do, will they be able to resist its special power? I mean, I don't think I would. I think I'd take a big sip. So that is the summary. Hope you enjoy.
Let's begin!
Yeah, in case you haven't noticed, this video is going to be filled with spoilers, so watch at your own risk, please.
So basically what's happened so far, I'm in chapter 4, 9% in, 26 pages in. Basically what's happened is Percy is at a new school. Of course, he's at a new school, starting his senior year. He gets called to the principal office. He's like so glad that nobody knows who he is. He's walking down the hallway, he just turns around and he goes right back to the office. He gets pulled into the counselor's office. They're like, okay, you want to apply to colleges, let's get you started on that. You're gonna need some godly recommendations. And Percy's mouth just like drops. He's like, godly? Like, how do you know? And turns out, oh yeah, like the counselor was replaced by like a C person whose boss is actually Percy's dad. So, ta-da! Percy gets sucked down, like water just appears and he gets sucked down through the currents of the ocean. He lands like off the coast. He's like 200 feet underwater. He's talking to his dad. And his dad is like, yeah, sorry, I know you, like, completed all these tasks, all these quests over the past, like, since you've been 12, and you've, like, saved the world, like, 3 or 4 times. Sorry, you still need letter of recommendations from gods. And plot twist, you can't go ask the gods for like letters of recommendation. They gotta come to you and basically ask you to do a quest, and then they'll give you a recommendation from that. Like, so they have to come to you. You can't go to them, which makes this all inconvenient. So we know he needs 3 letters of recommendation. So we know Percy's gonna be going on 3 different more quests. He gets sucked back through wherever he came back. He's sitting on his plastic chair in the water, because he got sucked down, and now he's going back up to the school, I guess. And then next chapter, we open up, Annabeth is there. Dinner! Yay! They want to go to New Rome College together in California. In California? I think so. Grover's here. Yeah, he's got fancy shoes. They mention different groups like the Powerpuff Girls, the Three Musketeers. Like, they're all back together. And then they say, yeah, Donkey, Fiona, and Shrek. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Grover just laughs. He's like, and then they just laugh about it. It's funny. And that's where we are so far. So we haven't gotten into, this is like just exposition. Like at this point, since like the last Percy Jackson and the Olympian book came out in like 2009, like the 5th book came out in 2009, and it's 2023. It's been like 14 years. So far, I'm up to chapter 4. So far, 1 through 4 have just been like exposition. It's nothing. It's just basically recapping what has happened, which isn't a bad thing at all. Like, totally welcome it, because like I need to refresh my brain. But we haven't gotten into like anything else. Everything's just going to explain to us, like, yeah, he needs letter of recommendations. Yeah, all of his prior experience sucks, apparently, and it doesn't count. I'm excited to continue. We'll see how this goes.
So I'm only halfway through chapter 5 so far, but Percy already has a quest. It's from this guy named Ganymede, who is the god of like cups, or he's a cupbearer. He like carries the cups for the gods, but he's also a god, so I don't know, but he's probably a lesser god. I don't know. But he's like, yo, Percy, I saw your advertisement on the bulletin board. Yo, can I get your help to help me find it? Because I lost it somehow. And he's like, yeah, sure. We'll help you. So they have to find out who stole it, if someone stole it, or if Ganymede just lost it. Or they have to find another one. Like, they have to make one. I don't know. One of the gods in question that might have stolen it is Hebe, the goddess of youth, which, if I'm using my brain correctly, that's the daughter of Hera and Zeus? But I could be wrong. I'm gonna have to Google it. So they go to Times Square. They're like, okay, maybe she has a shop, right? Because most gods, like, they have, like, their own stores. So they're, like, just walking around Times Square, and oops, they find this place. Guess what it's called? Heebie-jeebies. Amazing choice in a name. And, well, it's basically an arcade filled with 90s themed things. Skee-ball machines, some Dance Revolution. There's a ball pit, giant hamster habitat, bumper cars, what else? A ticket exchange station where you can buy prizes and stuff. So it's basically the godly version of, like, a Dave & Buster's. So I'm on page 64, about 23% in. I just finished chapter 8. Since the last update, they walked into Heebie-jeebies. They're like, yo, where's Hebe? I need to talk to her. They go meet her. She looks all young. Percy says she looks sort of like a sophomore. Like, if she went to the same school as him, he would have seen her as like a sophomore. They ask her, they're like, oh, do you know anything? We're looking for information. And Hebe's like, what information? Who sent you? She basically is like, oh, Ganymede sent you, right? And she's like, get out, bro. I don't want to talk to you. And then, guess what? She explodes into a pile of rainbow glitter. She explodes. Well, the gang wakes up and they're like, oh, my clothes don't fit. They're a little long. Well, guess what happened to them? They got youngified. Now they're 8 years old. They're literally 8 years old, and chickens have escaped out of the hen house that happens to be in this arcade place. And basically they're just running away for their lives. Because what else are you gonna do when you're 8 years old and flooded by a bunch of chickens? Percy uncaps Riptide, his sword pen thing. Well, when he uncaps it, it's supposed to turn into a sword, but it's a pen. He clicks it, and no sword pops out. He doesn't know why, but they must run. They must run. Yeah. Oh, don't lick my ear. Hi. Oh, you're so cute. Come here. Hey. Oh.
Anyway, so the dogs left me. So it's time to freaking read. Yay! I mean, I never thought that, like, saying, hey, I don't want to be 8 years old again would get a bunch of chickens, like, thrown at you. A bunch of chickens that are now only there to attack you because you're 8 years old now. When you don't want to be 8, you want to be 18. 9 years, I'm not, like, if I got turned 8 years old, I'd be like, yeah, maybe not when I'm trying to complete an immortal quest. A quest to get a recommendation, a godly recommendation to go to college. I'd rather go to college and complete this task than get murdered by a bunch of chickens. 9 more years of school would suck. You'd have to still get your recommendation letters. Like, bro, what? Okay, so I just finished chapter 13. I'm on page 102. 38% in. A lot has happened. They escaped the chickens, but as they did so, they abducted a chick so that they could use it. They played karaoke to, like, draw Hebe in and, like, make her change them back. Hebe turns into a baby because her powers are, like, reaching out towards the chick because she has to be the youngest person in the room. So she's, like, shrinking it right in front of them because she's turning into a baby or something. Like, she's turning into a toddler, whatever. They get changed back, and Hebe tells them that they must find Iris, who happens to be in the farmer's market, because she's one of the other chalice bearers. There's been 3 chalice guys, Hebe, Iris, and Ganymede. So they're on the hunt for Iris. Percy and his mom have a heart-to-heart, and Ganymede, stops by school and, like, is wearing, like, just sandals and a toga. And he just shows up and he's like, bro, what's up? You get any more info on where my freaking cup is? Yeah, Percy's like, yeah, Hebe doesn't like you that much, but yeah, we have some information. Percy and Annabeth are, like, brainstorming, they're talking, they're, like, FaceTiming, they're, like, doing the demigod equivalent of FaceTime, using Iris, like, the power of Iris. She's, like, the goddess of rainbows or something, so she's, like, they're using this whole rainbow FaceTime type stuff. They're like, okay, what are we gonna do? And then they have the idea, oh, let's get a child of Iris. And they're like, okay, well, that guy's not here. He's in Minnesota or something. There's not many year-round people who go to Camp Half-Blood that are, like, children of Iris. Who are we gonna pick? And Annabeth is like, you know who I'm picking. The chapter sort of ends there, and the chapter sort of opens up with Blanche, who is the emo daughter of Iris. Iris being the goddess of light, Blanche just makes everything black and white. But they bring Blanche in order to sort of soften the blow that Iris will take on them, because they know, like, accusing someone of, like, stealing a chalice, like, the most important cup, that could be an issue. So they bring her along just for support and to make sure they don't get killed. I wouldn't be surprised if a god killed their own child. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all. So I'm on just finished chapter 16, so we're on chapter 17. Page 128, we're about 47% through the book. Now we're at the 50% mark. Almost. Like, only 3% off, or very close. They need to get the chalice before a special type of feast. It's called the Epulum Minerva. It's a Roman feast to celebrate Athena, Annabeth's mom. And if they don't get it in time, then Ganymede, let me just say, I cannot, like, pronounce this guy's name for my life. Like, Ganymede, is that how you say it? Well, anyways, if they don't get it in time, that guy will die. That guy will be killed, vaporized by Zeus. I don't know, but he won't exist anymore. So Iris gives them a cool staff. The problem is the staff is old, and this is the staff that Iris used to do as, like, a herald, the god's herald. She was like the Hermes before Hermes existed, apparently. And so it's all dirty, so they need to wash it off. Well, the only place you can wash it off, of course, is this freaking river. Apparently the staff has powers to fly, because, like, that's how she got around. She flew with this freaking staff. Is this the same river where the Furies wash all the gunk off from the underworld so that they can go torture humans without being detected, apparently? The only catch is that they can't harm any creatures of the river. Good luck to them. The river is infested with frickin' snakes. A lot of snakes. So Percy is like, okay, it's a river, let me go talk to my counselor. He talks to his counselor, and she flushes him into the Atlantic Ocean. Before that, though, she tells him that he can't use all these quests are like interconnected. So Iris has a quest to clean off the staff in order to help Ganymede get the chalice back. So they're sort of interconnected. So Percy can't use that to get 2 letter recommendations. It's only 1 apparently. We'll see what happens if he ends up getting multiple, or if he'll just have to go on a million other quests in order to help and actually get into college. Okay, just finished chapter 20. I'm on chapter 21, page 159. 59% through the book. I think we got our first, task done. It may not be the whole quest, but, I think we got it done. The river god tries to drown Percy, and Percy gets pissed. Percy explodes with water, and he cleans, the whole area of the river. It's all sparkling clean now. So the river god's, all thankful, yeah, thank you for doing that. And he's, so bewildered and grateful that he gives permission to Percy to wash the staff. So he washes the staff. The group heads back to New York. Percy gets separated, and he gets a little disoriented, and he figures out that the staff can, fly and teleport, really. He's really fast at traveling now, I guess. And so now it's time for them to return the staff to Iris, which they do. And Iris is like, thank you, I found some information. She knows who is the actual thief of the chalice, and it's a dude named Gary. So now they're on this quest to go find Gary and get the chalice back so that they can actually complete the overall task of, getting the chalice back. The chalice has some magical properties. It's if you drink from it, you get immortality. So, mortals who drink from it become immortal. So, mortals who drink from it become immortal. So, it has this connection to, nectar. So, if it has nectar nearby, it'll be, pulled towards the chalice. So, that's going to be how they're going to find the chalice in Greenwich. They're just going to, carry around this, nectar and, drip it around and, see what happens, and it'll apparently lead them to the chalice so they can get it. I don't know how well that's gonna work. I mean, it's gonna work. This is a Percy Jackson book. They don't really normally fail their quests. Guys, I'm in the center of chapter 22, page 171. If you're not there yet, skip. Please, just I don't know, just pause this video right now and go and read that. Go and read up until that point, if you're reading along with me. If you're not, hi! You must have read this book already, and you know where I'm at. I am both happy and a little how is this gonna work? I'm gonna say it, 3, 2, 1. Percy's mom is pregnant. Okay. I'm just trying to process this right now. So, Percy's 17, 18-ish right now. That means that Percy's gonna have a younger sibling that's gonna be 18 years younger than him, which I don't know, people do that happens all the time, but that's gonna be a little bit weird, I guess, a weird family dynamic. Yeah, I'm really just trying to process this right now. I wasn't expecting this. I felt this came out of left field. I thought they were just having nice moments. I didn't know it was gonna build up to this. I mean, I'm fine with this. This isn't a surprise main character pregnancy trope that I hate, but it's just gonna be a little weird considering Percy's 18 years old right now. And so he's gonna be much older than his sibling, but that's gonna provide a bunch of fun Annabeth Grover, Percy, baby sibling moments. Here's an update. So I'm on chapter 29, page 220, 82% through the book. Let's go. 40-something pages left until we're done with this book, and I'm excited to see where this goes. But we've reached the climax. Mostly. We're like right there. Apparently Gary's dangerous, says Eudora, Percy's guidance counselor. But Eudora avoids the question of answering who the heck Gary is, and she just disappears in a wall of water. Great. Thank you very much, Eudora. Meanwhile, Percy is getting nervous about having a baby, like, sibling running around while he's off to go to college. Like, he doesn't really want to leave his family, and he's nervous. But he is comforted by Annabeth, who sneaks in his room in the middle, like, at like 5:30 a.m., like, way too early. So the gang heads to the park, following Nectar through the park, through the woods, whatever. They keep walking. They're dribbling the friggin' Nectar, and it's, like, leading them the way there, I guess. It's, like, glowing and stuff. I don't know. It's very interesting. So eventually the Nectar ends, and they run into Gary, who happens to be the god of old age, Garrus. Jarrus? I don't know, but that's where geriatrics come from, because he's the god of old age. He wants to stop people from using the chalice and becoming immortal, because, like, when you're the god of old age, you want people to get old, but when they're, like, becoming immortal, they're not ever gonna get old. And apparently all the gods hate him, because he's, like, permanently stuck as an old man. In order to get the chalice, Percy must wrestle Gary for some reason, because apparently Hercules, in one of his trials, had to wrestle the old man, and it ended in a standstill, and so Percy's odds are terrible, I guess. In the middle of their wrestling match, Percy starts thinking about his future, what his future will look like with Annabeth and Grover, and possibly his younger sibling as they grow old, and somehow he wins against Gary. I don't really know, like, he gets, like, strength from thinking about, like, what his future will look like when he's old, and apparently that does something that makes him win. And he hugs Gary, and Gary's like, I've never been hugged before, thank you. Then Percy's given the chalice, which is safe to bring back to Ganymede. But surprise, Zeus plans an impromptu brunch, and the chalice is needed. So now they gotta go rush across the city, go find Zeus, and give him this freaking chalice so that they don't kill Ganymede. Zeus, you're not being very helpful. Thank you. Please be helpful. Quick little update. I'm 91% through. I just finished chapter 31, and I'm on page 245. Percy just had to travel all the way across New York just to get to Olympus, like the Empire State Building, go to the top floor, and then freaking infiltrate the brunch that all the gods are having, or at least Zeus and his family, like his mom even. So he has to try to find a way to get this chalice to Ganymede. He eventually, like, he makes eye contact with Athena, and she's like, they wordlessly have like a little conversation, like, what are you doing here? And he's like, my bad, sorry, a quest, please. And then she does, she just causes a distraction that allows Ganymede to get away, which allows Percy to give Ganymede the freaking chalice. Awesome. I just finished. Not a lot has happened since the last update. I mean, I'm 100% through the book. Ganymede has given Percy his letter of recommendation, which is a blank piece of fancy paper. And Percy has to DIY the letter himself, which is sort of lazy on the part of the gods. But now Percy only has 2 more letters of recommendation to get, which I assume will be in the next book, or maybe the next 2 books, because I know there's a 7th book coming out in 2024. And so I'm assuming that there's going to either be 2 quests crammed into that, or there's going to be a third wanting to go to college book, but I'm not sure. Overall, I'd probably rate this book a 4 out of 5. I think it's good. Like, I enjoyed reading it. I loved seeing the gang back together. Even if this was like a cash grab to get people back excited for Percy Jackson before the show comes out in December. But I feel like it's not up to the standard that all the other Percy Jackson books are up to. I feel like it's just a little bit too short, there's not a lot of like fun quest things going on. Like, it's a quest, yeah, but like it's not that exciting. You just fight an old man and infiltrate a brunch. and get turned into a little kid. I mean, this won't stop me from reading Percy Jackson books. Like, I love it, but this is just like, it feels like a little short story. Like, it feels like one of the novellas. It probably should be a novella and not a full-on book, if I'm being honest. But I still enjoy it, so I will see you guys in the next video, if there's a next video. Bye! Make sure to follow me on Goodreads.